All right, try this again. Good morning. So you can start this morning just with a long spine. That could be lying on the ground, lying in bed, sitting upright, standing up, whatever feels right. But just a place where your head can have some alignment with your heart, can have some alignment with your base or your pelvis. And then drawing yourself into the awareness of your breath. And just starting to notice. I'll read our quote for today. You can invite it into your practice, or you can just hear it and let the words go. Differences are not intended to separate, to alienate. We are different precisely in order to realize our need for one another. Archbishop Desmond Tutu. And if your mind has become distracted, just seeing if you can draw yourself back to the breath. we'll start our movement portion on the back today. So when you're ready, you can come to lie down on your back. If you feel comfortable being on camera, you can turn your camera on, but if you prefer to just be in your own space, you can do that as well. And then lying down on the back when you're ready, drawing your knees into your chest, and then taking whatever movement feels good here while you lie with your knees into your chest. So that could be rocking a little bit from side to side, rocking forward or back, or you might even take your knees in some gentle circles, just starting to warm through the hip sockets. And then while you're here, maybe starting to just even out and deepen your breath a little bit. We're going to draw one knee in towards the chest and then release the other leg just long along the floor, nice and soft and easy. And then whatever movement feels good with that knee. I like to take mine in like a little semicircle action. So it's not quite side to side, but it sort of moves towards and away as it moves side to side. Oh, just getting the hip socket a little warmed, letting the psoas muscle release. And then really simple, just taking the other side, switching when you're ready. Knee into chest, bottom leg can go long if that feels good to you and nice and soft. And then again, moving that knee around in a way that feels good. Starting to warm the synovial fluids, the fluids inside of your joint capsule. If there's a place that feels particularly sticky, you could stay there for a moment. And then when you're ready, you might reach your arms up overhead and take a big stretch with the upper body, maybe also stretching the legs downwards, maybe a big yawn. And then we're going to roll over onto the stomach. And then on the stomach, I'm going to take my arms out to the side. I'm going to tent my fingertips. I'm going to press the tops of my feet towards the floor. And then I'm just going to inhale and look up a little bit and open my heart. And then exhale, I'm going to let my heart come down, let my forehead tap onto the floor. Inhale. And lift up. And exhale to tap. And just one more of those. Maybe feeling my shoulder blades move towards one another on the back, and then tapping. And then for a moment, I'm going to reach my arms nice and long and let my forehead come down to the floor and just take a couple breaths there. So just allowing the back line of the body to soften, allowing yourself to release for a moment. And then when you're ready, you can slide your hands back under your shoulders and draw yourself onto your hands and your knees. And then once at hands and knees, just taking a couple rounds of cat-cow. So I'm going to inhale, I'm going to look up and open my heart. And then exhale, find the back side of my body and round. You can move through that, or I like to stay in cat in the morning. I usually have a lot of tenderness on the back line of the body. So I stay in cat pose and I just rock forward and back a little bit. And then coming back to a neutral spine when you're ready, we're going to take the right foot and step it out to the side towards the right. And instead of having my foot in line with my hip, I'm going to draw the foot forward so it's more in line with my shoulder. And then from here, I already feel a stretch this morning on the inside of my leg. If you don't feel it so much, take a long spine and then you could bend your elbows, or you could also, if you have blocks, put blocks underneath your elbows and lower yourself down. And then from here, I'm going to find a little bit of almost like a cow pose in my upper chest. So I'm going to inhale, rock forward and open my heart. And then I'm just going to exhale and just pull back, not to cat, but just let my hips pull me back an inch or two. And then inhale, rock forward, open heart, exhale, the hips pull back. And just 3 more like that. myself back to hands and knees. You could take another round of cat-cow. You could bend your elbows in your cow to sort of kick up the muscles of your shoulders. You could also take a child's pose and let yourself sit back towards your heels and reach your arms forward. And taking a deep breath in there, inhaling. And exhaling. And again, breathing in. And breathing out. When you're ready, returning back to a neutral spine, hands and knees. And then we'll take the left foot out towards the left, and then again, not having it in line with the hip, I'm gonna step it forward in line with my shoulder, so a little more forward, and I get right into my inner thigh there. And then same thing here, I'm gonna pull my heart forward, maybe even look forward a little bit. Inhale, rock forward, and exhale, rock back. Inhale, rocking forward and opening, and exhaling back, pulling the hips back, long spine. And just 3 more. Again, you could be doing this with bent elbows or with your elbows lowered, however open you are. All right, when you're ready, you can draw yourself back onto hands and knees. And then the invitation here is to either walk your hands a hand length forward, float your knees up off the floor, and come to downward facing dog, or you could come back to your child's pose and let yourself rest down. And then if you're working in your downward facing dog, just take whatever it is that you need, maybe some bending of the knees or treading of the feet. And then wherever you are, we're going to meet by starting to step the feet forward and step the hands back, so coming to hang over the legs. So if you're in child's pose, you can just step yourself there. You can keep your knees really deeply bent here so that you just let your back release. And keeping the knees bent will keep the strength in your legs. And then whatever movements feel good here, you could sigh out or shake your head or bounce your hips up and down. And then slowly we'll work our way to stand. So if you don't have any herniated discs, you could really bend your knees, let your arms hang heavy like a rag doll, and roll yourself up the spine. Or if that's creating pressure in your discs, you can find a long spine and move through, supporting with your hands on your thighs. Whatever feels right to you, just make a choice and stick with it. And the next 3 to 5 breaths to come up to stand. You can take your time. And then once you get up to stand, just feeling again that alignment of your head in line with your heart, in line with your base. Maybe inhaling and reaching the arms out and up if that feels good to you. Exhaling, pressing the palms together in front of the heart, or you could let the arms rest down by the sides. And taking a few breaths there. Feeling your feet ground down. Maybe as your feet ground down, you just acknowledge whose land you're on today, the ancestors that came before you so that you could walk, be, do in the place that you're in today.